4 students, an end to their high school career, but the beginning to the new chapter of their life. Each student has been at Studio9 roughly anywhere from 6 months to 7 years, but they've all gained some very valuable skills, made some wonderful friendships, and will be very successful as they move out into the big scary world. So we have for you a series of action plans that you're going to be listening to today. After each presentation, there will be some time for some questions if you do have, and then once everybody is done, I just invite you back into my classroom. I have some cookies and some juice, just as a little bit of celebration. No rockets, girl, sorry. Just a little bit of a celebration. I really want to celebrate the entire class this year. The grade 10s and 11s did their presentations on Monday, and I've never had such a class willing to almost try anything. Let's take an idea, let's run with it. We did some fundraising this year for the gospel mission. These students ran stations at camp this year. They, when we did our Decades project, which the mural's up on the wall in my room, they were the ones who decided to dress up. It was the most fun day I had. I had people from the 40s right to the 2000s, and we were rocking it up in band class and the hallmarks. So it's been a really, really fun year, and I think over this year that a lot of people have bonded, and I'm hoping those friendships will last longer than just high school. But without anything further, I'm going to ask the first presenter, Abby Grad, to come up.
Good morning. Before I introduce myself, I would first like to thank all of you for coming out today to support my fellow students tonight as we close this chapter of our lives. My name is Abby Broadland, and this is my graduation transition project. In the summer of grade 5, I moved up from Vancouver with my parents. I attended Anne Laclymont during my final 3 elementary years before switching to OKM for grade 8 and grade 9. In grade 10, I started my journey at Studio9, where I have been attending since. My experience throughout my schooling years so far have been very positive and rewarding. I look forward to continuing my journey as a student and expanding knowledge in areas of interest. I have many ambitions, and I'm very passionate about what I do. When I enjoy something, I always push myself to do my best, as being successful has always been very important to me. I take pride in my strong work ethic and time management skills, which have all been a result of experience, hard work, and dedication. My hobbies and interests have helped shape who I am today. I fill my schedule with things I love to do, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I have found that by keeping myself busy, I accomplish more than what I would otherwise. As a result of my busy lifestyle, I have developed many skill sets that I will be able to carry with me throughout my life. All-Star cheerleading has been a huge part of my life since the first ever gym in the Okanagan opened its doors nearly 6 years ago. If pom-poms and loud chants come to mind, think twice. All-Star Cheer is solely based on dance, acrobatics, and tumbling, which are all combined into an action-packed 2-minute, 30-second routine. In fact, it was even recognized by the International Olympic Committee as a provisional Olympic sport in 2016, and it is deemed to be in the 2020 Winter Olympics. Like any competitive sport, cheer competitions take place around the world. Over my 6 years of being an athlete, I have competed in nearly 50 competitions all over North America. This year, my team and I traveled to Edmonton for one of the biggest cheer championships in Canada. We not only walked away with the first place in our division, but we also scored higher than any of the other 400+ teams competing that week. Cheer has helped me to become a stronger and more confident athlete, student, and member of the community. Music has always been one of my passions. As you can tell by the picture on your far left, I was really enjoying myself. I started attending singing lessons when I was 10 years old at my own music. Not long after my first month of singing, I was asked to audition for a concert that my music school puts on twice each year. I was honored to be asked to audition. These concerts are held at Kelowna Community Theatre and host over 900 audience members. The audition process is not easy, as every one of the singers auditioning wants one of the limited number of lead spots. I have been lucky enough to participate in 10 concerts with Wentworth so far, and I will be performing another lead on June 24th and 25th. Aside from having the opportunity to perform in front of many live audiences, I have also completed Rock School singing exams. This rigorous program tests students' raw ability to produce quality music. Rock School is based out of the UK and requirements are strict. Many months of preparation are involved. I have recently completed grade 6, which is for singers age 17. I began attending dance lessons at the age of 4. Every time anyone stepped foot into our house, the first question they would always hear was, "Would you like to watch me dance?" Of course, being as persistent as I was, the answer was never no. And if it was, well, they were going to have to watch me dance anyway. I continued to dance since, and over the years, I've become increasingly passionate about it, resulting in a decision that has changed my life for the better. At the age of 15, I started a home-based dance studio. In doing so, I have developed organizational, communication, analytical, and critical thinking skills. I have honed my time management and problem-solving skills, and have developed a great appreciation for being accountable. I continue to apply all of these skills in order to develop, grow, and carry on my work and life every day. In the past 2 years of running Dream Dance Club, I have developed a loyal following of both students and appreciative parents. By developing and running my own business, I have learned that applying my best self in whatever I do is the essence of creating a successful life. During my time spent at high school, I have achieved some memorable accomplishments. Through these accomplishments, I have learned to always set my best foot forward in whatever I do and to never set limitations when it comes to my interests and goals. I would now like to share what I have learned from my most recent achievements. As a cheerleader of 6 years, I have achieved several accomplishments and have set many goals for myself and my team. Many of my most memorable accomplishments are not physical awards. When I think of the word trust, cheerleading comes to mind. I have learned to trust my teammates and they have learned to trust me. This seemingly simple act is much harder than it sounds, especially when you're being thrown 20 feet up in the air and relying on other teenagers to catch you. Aside from expanding on my ability to trust my teammates, I have developed a greater knowledge of what it means to work as a team. Coming together as a unit and working as one will only make for a greater success. My cheerleading program holds a banquet at the end of each season. During this banquet, 2 athletes from each team are recognized for their efforts. I have been lucky enough to receive several awards. This has inspired me to keep up my work ethic and to continue dedicating myself in everything that I do. Over the past 5 years, I have taken 5 Rock School singing exams. Rock School grades are based off of your current age. For example, this year I completed grade 6, designed for female singers who are 17. The level you are in is also based on age. I am currently in level 3, which is designed for singers aged 17 to 19. Over my years of completing Rock School singing exams, I have taken away valuable knowledge that I will continue to use. I learned to always stay devoted even when I didn't feel like practicing the same song for the 100th time in a row. By applying the knowledge I obtained through the years, I was able to reach my goal of passing with distinction. This has opened many doors for me, and I continue to look forward to what's to come next for me in regards to music. Running my own business has been one of my greatest accomplishments so far. I have managed to successfully start and run my own company, teaching 7 days a week while staying on top of my schoolwork, cheerleading, singing, and maintaining a healthy relationship with friends and family. Aside from teaching, there are many other responsibilities of running my business. Many of my hours are usually tied up answering text messages from dance moms who want to know the proper technique of an arabesque, or where to get that cute hairpiece that they saw so-and-so wearing the other day at practice. Our newcomers who want to join a team halfway through the competition season. I'm in charge of communicating with my students, parents, and organizing schedules, writing documents, planning events, marketing, managing the social media accounts, teaching, choreographing, and more. I couldn't be happier with where this experience has led me to, and my bank account is pretty happy too. This year, I was accepted into my first choice program at UBCO, the Bachelor of Business 4-year degree program. This program is recognized internationally as it is run by the Sauder School of Business. The application process for this post-secondary institution is not easy, as your grades are not the only thing they are taken into consideration. The application also requires you to fill out many multi-paragraph answers to in-depth questions that relate to your life, your goals, and your accomplishments. This application took me 3 weeks to complete, as I wanted to be sure it showed the best of my abilities, talents, ambitions, and future goals. I received a personalized acceptance letter, and I was very honored to be considered for this program. Attending a post-secondary institution is important to me, as it has always been an aspiration of mine. A post-secondary education can be very rewarding in many areas. Working with children has been of interest for a long time, so naturally a school teacher was a job I was curious of looking into. In fact, I had the opportunity to work as a teacher's assistant this year for a grade 2-3 split class. My sponsor teacher suggested we start each 90-minute class with planning so that she could give me guidance about what to do. After 3 classes, my sponsor teacher told me that these sessions were no longer necessary, as she felt I instinctively knew what needed to be done. In addition, my sponsor teacher suggested I begin working with the children who struggled with learning disabilities. 2 children. This was something I had never done before, and I had to figure out quickly how to work effectively with each unique temperament and ability. I spent many days researching learning theories for each of these individuals. As I came to understand each child better, I discovered options that worked. This very unfamiliar experience has given me the confidence to know that I am a resourceful and able learner, and I continue to have a passion for helping children reach their highest potential. As the year progressed, I came to realize that pursuing my interest in business was what I wanted to do. Since I already have the experience of developing my own business, I felt I was ready to take on the challenge. I spent several months researching post-secondary institutions located all over BC before, funny enough, applying to the 2 local institutions in Kelowna, Okanagan College and UBCO. I have talked to many people about both of these institutions, and I've heard nothing but positive feedback on what they have to offer their students. Both business programs are a 4-year bachelor degree program, offering a wide array of specialized courses, including management, which is what I would specialize in. I have been accepted into my first choice program at both of these institutions since applying. Making the decision on which institution to choose has been a difficult process for me. I wanted to make sure the program that I chose was going to benefit me short-term and long-term. After numerous hours spent talking to advisors, people who have attended one of the programs, workers at one of the institutions, and friends who know friends who have attended either one of the programs, I came to the decision that the Okanagan College was where I would study for the next 4 years. The final deciding factor came down to the success rate of each program, as well as the skills provided to students wanting to start their own business or company. The Okanagan College Business Degree Program also offers students several exchange programs, giving students the opportunity to travel the world while continuing their studies. While attending college, I plan on continuing to run my current business. Once graduated, I would like to move back to Vancouver, where I will take the skills I have learned through running my business, as well as the knowledge I will take from away from college, and I will apply this to starting a new venture which appeals to my entrepreneurial spirit. Business is my passion, and I know it is something that I will continue with through the rest of my life. Obstacles are unexpected and can sometimes be unavoidable. Although I can always fall back on a different business plan, I thought it was important to keep my mind open to other job opportunities. Aside from business, there are other work fields that interest me. I've made sure to graduate with courses that will also support the requirements of those other programs at post-secondary. Thank you for taking the time today to join my fellow students and I as we present our final project in grade 12. I look forward to using my knowledge I have obtained through my secondary years to pursue my future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Questions for Abby before we move on? I'm now going to ask Alex Bowe to step forward. Alex joined us in January, and if you saw the show Into the Woods, this is our one.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Alex Bowe, and this is my action. Before we get started about my goals for the future, I think it would be a good idea for you guys to learn a little bit about me first. So you're probably wondering, who is this Alex Bowe we're speaking of? My name is Alexandra T-Time Bowe, and I was born on November 18th, 1999 in beautiful British Columbia. I have lived in and out of Lévis, Quebec, for my first 2 years of life, which, yes, you guessed it, my first language is French. In about 2002, our family decided to settle down in Kelowna and start our life here. Shortly after settling down, our family expanded. In 2005, my brother Dimitri was born. Right away, we had an instant connection, as I am his primary caregiver. Ever since the birth of my brother, it has just been me, my mom, and my brother. Even though we do have a smaller family, we love each other very much, and I have gotten all of the support that I've needed in the arts. Some of my interests include science and maths, singing, dancing, acting, and music. Right now, I can currently play the piano, I can play the guitar, the violin, and the cello. So starting with dance. Dance is always something I loved, and ever since I was about 3 years old, I knew that I wanted to be a prima ballerina right away. Even though I never took ballet lessons when I was little, I did take a combo class in tap and jazz. After that, I decided that dance wasn't my thing, and I took a bit of time off to do some gymnastics. After realizing that gymnastics wasn't really my thing either, I wanted to get back into dance, but I didn't get around to getting back into dance until about 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I started at Aspirations Dance School, where I did just recreational in jazz and hip hop. After that year was done, I decided to do competitive dance, where I competed in hip hop, lyrical, contemporary, and jazz. After that, I was accepted into one of Kelowna's best hip-hop crews, which I did dance for a year. In 2016, so this current dance year, I moved to the core dance project. I've loved it there, and I've been training in all styles of dance. Hip-hop and ballet are definitely my favorite, and this is the studio's first year opening. And as you can see from here, we have been very successful with all of our I remember the day that I got my very first piano. I just finished a church service on Christmas, and I came home to find a massive box just waiting for me to open. And when I did, I found a keyboard. Right away, I was ecstatic, and I asked my mom to plug it in. I was about 3 years old, so I couldn't play anything, so I just started smashing the keys. The very best option for a 3-year-old. The following September, when I turned 4, my mom got me into piano lessons, and I've taken piano lessons my entire life. I played art, Royal Conservatory music, where I did 6 levels, and it goes from levels 1 to 10, based on various piano abilities. RCM is based around classical music, and level 6 is definitely a very challenging level, and I took it when I was 10 years old. After that, I switched to accompaniment, so I could accompany myself singing and playing piano at the same time. Some of my achievements in life. My mom always wanted me to learn self-defense since I was born, so she put me into martial arts. Kung Fu is a performance sport, so for the first 8 years of my life, I practiced in the art of Kung Fu, training in nunchucks, staff, and sword. I have achieved my junior black belt, my senior black belt, my 10-star black belt, which is the highest you can go, and after that, I started Wing Chun with some overlap. Wing Chun is solely based on self-defense, as the levels are way harder to obtain, so it takes about anywhere between 3 to 6 months to get your next level, which I completed my level 5B, which is 1 level away from your black sash, which means you can teach. My greatest achievement so far is my musical theater exam. I started singing lessons at the age of 9, where I trained in both classical and musical theater style singing. The following year, in 2010, my singing instructor asked me if I wanted to partake in some exams. I said yes. I was introduced to the Trinity College London musical theater exams, where they rank in 3 levels, level 1, 2, and 3, which stands for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. I started off in the advanced category. There are also grades to every exam, based on various skill levels. Level 1 is 1 song and a story. Level 8 is 4 songs, a dance, you write your own script, and a monologue. A lot to take in. I started off at level 4, and I've completed every exam since then. I actually passed my grade 8 with distinction, which is very unheard of, considering it's the hardest and longest exam. I was recognized all through London because of this accomplishment, which means I also got accompanied with my ASTLC, which is the principles of vocal and instrumental teaching, or your associate. Now moving on to some of my goals for the future. Liking math, I decided to divide all of my goals up into 3 categories: career and work goals, physical wellness, and mental wellness. For my career goals, I have decided to attend post-secondary education, where I will graduate with my undergraduate degree. During that, I'm very hoping to teach dance and or music as a side job. I will elaborate more on that later, so I would like to move on to physical wellness. Physical wellness is very important for everyday life and keeps you healthy. My first goal in physical wellness is to eat more, as I have had problems in the past with portion control and eating with time. And not only will I eat more at a more frequent pace, but I will eat healthier as well, because healthier food gives you more energy to pursue your goals. I will also exercise more frequently and regularly, even if that's taking a dance class or going for a walk or going to the gym. The biggest category for me is mental wellness. Mental wellness is something that is very important to me. I like to think of it as your brain is the control center of your body. And if your control center isn't working well, how can the rest of you function? I am on very high medication right now, and all of my dosage are at the highest dosage, as I have had some complications in the past. And my goal for the next few years is to either lower and hopefully one day get completely off my medication. As well as having medication, I do attend regular counseling sessions, and that I will continue with counseling and therapy to regulate my emotions more and keep everything together. For my post-secondary education choice, I picked Okanagan College. I was accepted into both UBC and OC for a science program. I decided to take the program at OC because of the time commitment. It is a lot different going to university full-time versus college full-time. It might either take longer, but there are smaller class sizes, the costs are different, so I will do my first 2 years at OC, then I will transfer up into UBCO. I decided to take a major in psychology with a minor in biology, which means it would take 4 to 5 years to complete, considering I'm taking a minor. I've known for my entire life that all I've ever wanted to do is help people. Helping people has always been something. I remember once in grade 1, I couldn't speak any English, but my one friend got a paper cut, and I stood up, looked over, and sprinted across the room. And I was asking them if they wanted help, but they couldn't understand me. No one could. Ever since then, I knew that I wanted to be a doctor. It was just recently that the choice of a pediatric psychiatrist came across me. With a pediatric psychiatrist, I would offer therapy, run tests, and prescribe medications. This is a very long career path, as you can see. My plan after taking my undergraduate degree is to take my MCAT, which stands for my Medical College Admissions Test, which then I would go to medical school and then take my MD, which means I have the license, I just can't practice. After that, I will take a 5-year residency in psychiatry. Then I will specialize in pediatrics, pass my exam, and then I will be a pediatric psychiatrist. This is looking at 13 plus years of schooling, which is a very long time and a lot of commitment, but I know that if I set my mind to it, I will definitely be able to achieve it. Another option I've been really interested in is cognitive neuroscience. It is a very large role, as in your brain is extremely important, as I have mentioned before, and cognitive neuroscientists test electrons in the brain and make sure everything is working correctly. After my undergraduate degree, I would take my master's in cognitive psychology, then pursue my PhD in neuroscience. This would take 8 to 10 years, which, again, a lot of time commitment. Not everything always goes according to plan, and that's inevitable. It's going to happen. So I have decided to pick reasonable backup plans that suit my interests and my degree. One of my backup plans is a singing instructor. I already have my ATCL, so the only thing I would have to do is test for my LCCL, which is my full license to teach. I would specialize in musical theater, singing, and movement, which is the exact same program that I took and I did succeed in. My other backup plan is a counselor. Counselors are very important because they provide their weekly training and skill therapy. I would have to take my master's in counseling right after I finish my undergraduate degree, which would take about 2-3 years. And then I would focus on mental health counseling for a grand total of 6 years. Looking at 13 plus years of schooling, that's probably going to be a lot of finances. My entire life, everything that I've ever wanted, I've had to work for and I've had to provide by myself. And it goes to say the same with going to university. For attending university, I will be providing all of the funds for myself with no help from my parent. I plan to do this by getting scholarships, student loans if I have to, and personal savings, as I have been saving my entire life, because I knew that I wanted to be something big. I would like to end off with a quote that my mom would tell me when I was little. It is in French, but don't worry, I will translate after. Vous êtes défini par les choix que vous faites, alors choisissez judicieusement tous les jours, which translates to you are defined by the choices you make. So, choose wisely every day. I would like to take this time to personally thank Ms. Crown and Ms. Dunwoody, as they are extremely supportive, and they have been nothing but accommodating during my short time at Studio9. I'd also like to thank Ms. Tiana, because she is such a great helper and inspires me every day. I would like to thank my classmates because they have been nothing but supportive in everything that I've been wanting to do. I would like to thank Studio9 itself for allowing me to flourish in the arts as well as providing me an amazing education. I would like to congratulate my fellow graduates. We did it, we're here. And I would like to thank everybody for coming out to watch my presentation.
Thank you, Alex. Does anybody have any questions for Alex? Next, I would like to call up Savannah Ebert.
I'd like to start off by thanking you all for taking your time and coming out for our graduation presentations. My name is Savannah Hebert, and I'm one of the 4 graduating students from Studio 9. Because it is such a small class, we're able to make an actual bond with our teachers. Because of this, I'd like to say a special thank you to Mrs. Crown and Ms. Dunwoody, who have helped me every step of the way through my grade 12 year. I was born right here in Kelowna 18 years ago. With a mom from Vancouver and a dad from the small town of Saskatchewan, I had 2 very different sides to me. One side was always wanting to do girly things, such as dancing, singing, and performing. And the other side was a bit more of a tomboy. As soon as I turned 3, I started dance. I took ballet, tap, and jazz, and I continued until I was 6. During this time, we also spent every summer camping and fishing. As soon as I was old enough, my dad bought me my own rifle. Having these very different hobbies helped me to learn patience, respect, and communication, which has helped me to this day. As I've gotten older, I found hobbies that have balanced out a little bit more. When I turned 14, we got our horse Cash, and I worked at the barn we boarded him at for almost 2 years. There, I learned how to exercise and groom horses and how to properly clean pens and stalls. Because I worked there year-round, I find it's taught me a lot about perseverance. Because it didn't matter if there was 3 feet of snow, buckets of rain coming down, or if it was just stupid hot. I still had to do my job. Sorry, I messed up here. Sorry. While I was working at the barn, I still pursued my more artsy side. I've learned to play 4 different instruments: the guitar, bass, piano, and ukulele, and I've taken classical vocal training, singing Italian, English, and German. And I was also performing and teaching at the Kelowna Actors Studio. I've completed 7 years of piano, up to grade 4, playing songs from Bach, Beethoven, and Chopin, and I've been in a total of 9 performances, 7 at Studio 9 and 2 at the Kelowna Actors Studio, many of which were lead roles such as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz and Miss Hannigan in Annie. I've been an assistant teacher at CAS, teaching over 4 children's classes, with each class consisting of 20 to 25 children, aged 6 to 12, teaching acting, choreography, vocals, important listening skills, and singing. Within the past 2 years, I found a hobby I had never expected to be interested in or good at, which was softball. I had never played before when my boyfriend had signed me up for the tournament held every year in town between the car dealerships. The first time I played, I was very nervous, but learned a lot about what it means to be a team player and how to do my best, and not to feel bad when I didn't even make it on base. The following year, we'd won the tournament, which was a huge accomplishment for me, because I always thought I wouldn't be any good at sports. It really shows that if you put your mind to something, you can accomplish anything. I find my hobbies and accomplishments have helped me grow as a person and lead me towards a successful life. I've always known that I wanted to have a serious career, and that I wouldn't be fulfilled if I didn't attend some sort of post-secondary. For the past few years, many different careers have crossed my mind, from school teacher to civil engineer to a veterinary technician. I spent long hours going over the requirements and the descriptions for each profession, and none seemed to fit. But as I've gotten older, I've found a career that really complements my personality and skill set, which is a dental assistant. The reason I've chosen this is because I'm an introvert and I find one-on-one communication easy. I'm able to make people feel comfortable even in very uncomfortable situations like at the dentist. I'm also very good at typing and taking notes, which are important traits to have as a dental assistant. I found a dental office in town which has accepted me to job shadow as I attend college. To be able to afford my courses, I have a job lined up for the summer to work as a nanny for 2 young girls. one only 9 months old and the other is 4. While I'm working, I intend to apply to Okanagan College this fall for a basic chemistry program. The reason I've chosen the college for this is because they have flexible class times, so I'd be able to work all day and attend classes in the evenings 3 times a week for a few months. After I've completed this course, I intend on applying for the dental assistant program. It is a 10-month course and would make me a certified dental assistant. The cost for tuition is $4,700. This also includes the cost of parking passes, textbooks, scrubs, and other essentials. So you can see this is a more affordable plan than going to, say, the university. While I'm taking this course, I will have to find a clinic to do the practical component of my schooling. I plan on contacting Orchard Plaza Dental, which is where I'll be job shadowing, and see if there would be a possibility for me to continue my course with them. After I complete the program and I am certified, I plan on working as a dental assistant in town. The average starting wage for a dental assistant is $18 an hour, and after a year, it can increase to around $30. Life doesn't always work out as planned, no matter how hard you try. If things don't work out like I hope they do, I do have a plan to fall back on. I could take the medical administrative assistant program at Okanagan College, which is only a 6-month program that helped me work at the desk of a dental office or other health-related services. I'd like to have a career no matter what path I choose. While having a successful career is very important to me, I know I must also work to keep myself physically and emotionally healthy. I'm going to work towards finding a balance between work and relaxation. While I'm working or in school, I will still find the time for my hobbies and activities. I believe this is important because without those areas of my life, I would not be who I am today. When I first started my grade 12 year, I was stressed out knowing this project was at the end. I was almost not ready to be planning out my future. But as the years progressed, I have grown as a person, and this course has helped me to apply the knowledge and skills I have learned throughout my life, and to decide on a path that was perfect for me. I'm excited to continue to grow and learn as I explore the next chapter of my life. I'd like to thank you all again for coming out and listening to our final presentations. Thank you.
Thank you, Savannah. I'm just going to run with the assumption that nobody has any questions. All right. I'm going to ask our final presentation of the day to come up. Zoe Welch.
Hi, my name is Zoe Welch. Before I start, I want to thank everyone for coming and listening to our graduation presentations. I also want to thank all my teachers, Ms. Trites, Mr. Guzzi, Ms. Tiana, and Ms. Crown for making my early graduation possible. And of course, my parents for their endless support. I was born on December 21st, 2000 in a very small Albertan town called Wainwright. I was 9 when we moved to Kelowna. This is my 7th and my last year at Studio9. So who am I? I am an actor, singer, and a dancer. These have been my passions from a very young age. I've been performing since I was 3 and now I'm 16. These are the things that I'm most dedicated to and they motivate me. I'm graduating a year early this year so I can pursue my passions. So, my dance accomplishments. I've been dancing for 13 and a half years, and I competed for 8 of those years. I brought in 4 of my trophies today. I actually have 21 at home, but I couldn't bring more one. So, these are 3 of them, and then this is another one right here. Oh, there's a bug on it. And then I also have some certificates from local festivals and competitions. There's 11 here. This is just from 1 year that I did. This was 2013/14, and those are all first place certificates that I got for my solos that year. Also, in January of 2016, I went to Seattle to compete in the Youth America Grand Prix. It's one of the biggest competitions in the world. This is the certificate that I got, and this little medal thing. In my grade 10 year, I completed the Canadian School of Ballet's pre-professional program. Although I do ballet, jazz, tap, contemporary, modern, This was a half-day ballet program, so I would come to school in the morning and then I would do ballet in the afternoon. I did 3 to 4 hours each day and also on the weekends, so it came to about 20 hours of ballet a week. It was really intense ballet as it was a higher level. Since 2011, I've had close connections with Ballet Victoria. I've been offered an apprenticeship spot in the company by the artistic director Paul DeStrooper and principal ballerina Andrea. I've completed my grade 5 intermediate Advanced 1 and Advanced 2 Royal Academy of Dance examinations. So how it works is if you're in grade 5 in school, you'll be put in grade 4 ballet, so you're always a year behind in dance. So when I moved here, I was in grade 5. They put me in grade 4 ballet, but about a month in, they moved me up to grade 5. And I have the certificates right here. So this was my grade 5 ballet examination. Then I went to intermediate foundation, but they moved me up to intermediate after doing about 3 months of that. So this is my intermediate examination. This is my advanced 1 and advanced 2. I've been a part of 5 Nutcrackers with Ballet Kelowna. We work for 4 months every weekend. It's a really long process, and I've had lead roles in almost all of the Nutcrackers. I've also performed with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet when they toured Romeo and Juliet. The Royal Winnipeg Ballet is one of the 2 biggest ballet companies in Canada and one of the biggest companies in the world. For 5 years, I've been one of the 15 dancers in Company B. Company B is an elite jazz and contemporary performing group. We perform locally, and this year we went to Disneyland to dance with the Disney cast. Lastly, this May I released a project I've been collaboratively working on called Girls. It was a video filmed by filmmaker Chelsea McAvoy, and it was a modern dance choreographed by Joanna Lige that I danced. It's about society's expectations upon women and how to truly accept yourself, which is something I've been super passionate about. Dance has taught me so many life lessons. All great discipline, commitment, endurance, the ability to take criticism, and love. I never thought I could fall so deeply in love with something. It's where I've grown my closest relationships, and it is something I can call home. I feel so blessed to have had dance as a part of my life. This Monday, I had my last dance class at my studio, and it's been unbelievably hard knowing I have to let go of it. Dance will always be a part of me. So my goals. So for many years, I wanted to do acting and music as a career, and now I finally get to pursue it. Acting and singing have been 2 of my interests for a really long time, so they directly relate to my career choice. I feel really fortunate that I've had so much support in doing these because I've had experience in them, so I know what I'm getting into after I graduate. I started to get into acting at my first year at Studio9. I was in grade 5, and I was Molly in the play Annie. Since then, I've had lead roles in all the 5 plays that I've been in at Studio9. I feel really fortunate to have had the opportunity to be a part of these. Since then, I've gotten more into film acting, which is what I want to do. I've been singing for 3 years now. I take private vocal coaching with Sandy Deschner, who has really pushed me to not only become a better vocalist, but find myself as an artist. My values have also led me to this choice. I think acting and music are 2 very important ways to put a message out in the world, which is what I want to do. I identify with my personality as a performer, so it's led me to this choice. A big part of my personality is very emotional, and these are the ways that I can channel my emotions. So my action plan. I've had an acting agent for 2 years now in Vancouver. Her name is Sarah Davis, and she's with Premier Talent. Premier is one of the biggest companies in Vancouver for acting agents. Because I've been working so heavy with school and dance, I haven't been able to go as many auditions as I'd like to, but that's the reason I'm graduating early, so that she can weekly get me auditions, so I'll be going like a few times a week. I'll be living part-time in Vancouver, and instead of an official secondary school, because there is not a lot of film acting schools in Vancouver, it's a lot of theater, which isn't really the path that I want to go down. I'm going to do workshops and courses at the Vancouver Acting School, Actors Foundry, and VADA Studios, which is the Vancouver Academy of Dramatic Arts. These courses and workshops can take up to 3 weeks to 1 week to a day. It really just depends on what you want to do. I also have a private acting coach named Sarah Redmond. She's really well known in Vancouver. She's been in Da Vinci's Inquest, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, The X-Files, Center Stage, and 46 other movies and TV shows. I also have a website. It has all my dance, my recordings, my demo reel, coaching videos, resume, bio, and photos. This is where casting directors go if they want to see what I can do and watch my videos and things like that. It's linked to my Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, Vimeo, YouTube, because social media is really important since I have to start promoting myself now. My agent also has connections to music managers in Vancouver. I was approached recently in December by a music manager that works for Netflix, so my music would be in Netflix TV shows and movies, which is really exciting. Music managers also have connections to labels, and that's who puts your music out. In the past and present, I've done many local gigs. Downtown parks, recently I did the Inspired Word Cafe, I did KK Management's More Than Beautiful, and I've done a few others. I've been working on my own music, and now that I have a lot more time, I'll be working more on that. I also have made connections with Steve Susi. I met him through Studio9, and he's been helping me a lot with my own music. He's a local producer and musician. I've been working with a girl named Dia. She's a singer, also from Kelowna, and I was recently approached by a producer / DJ because he liked my singing, so he asked if he could make some music. So I will have tracks to put in some lyrics to. This summer, I'm opening for a local band at an event, which is very exciting, and I'm also singing at a music festival. So my greatest accomplishments. After working 3 hours daily for a year and a half, I completed my RAD Advanced 2 exam. The Royal Academy of Dance is a London-based company, and it's extremely strict. I took this exam 2 years early. They made an exception for me, which is extremely rare. Normally, to take your Advanced 2 exam, you have to be 17 years old, but I was 15 when I did it. Advanced 2 gives you teaching qualifications, and it's basically the highest level of dance. There is a level called Solo Seal, but you have to be 19 to take the exam, and they wouldn't let me do it early. Second, in April this year, I video auditioned for a singing competition at an event called Teen Fest. My video got over 5,000 views in a very short few days, which was the most Teen Fest ever got. I ended up winning the competition, which was very exciting and rewarding for me. From 2014 to 2016, I was a part of 3 movies. 2 movies of the week, one being a Hallmark movie called A Wife's Nightmare, and then another one called A Hand in Love. The other movie I worked on was a big-budget film that recently came out called Monster Trucks. It was produced by Danny Glover and starring X-Men's Lucas Till. Since 2015, I've worked with Music City Studios to do over 15 recordings. I've made 3 music videos, and I've gotten very positive feedback after posting them online. There's something that I'm super proud of. In 2015, I was nominated for an Okanagan Civic Award. I was one of the 3 nominees for the Honor in the Arts Award. It is awarded to a youth who has made an outstanding contribution in Kelowna through cultural and/or artistic efforts. And this is my nomination plaque that I got. So, my background. I will face challenges while trying to pursue my passions, as everyone does. I believe that there are 3 reasons why I couldn't pursue what I wanted to do. 1 being unbelief. I have to believe I can succeed because that is people's biggest obstacle. I have to have the courage to believe. It's like the quote, the man who says he can and the man who says he can't are both correct. 2 is the fear of failure, fear of success, and fear of people. Failure could always be a possibility when you step out to pursue your dreams, but in anything great achieved, there is always some risks that have to be taken. Fear of success comes when people are afraid to leave their comfort zones. I've had many people doubt my decisions to rely on this business, so I've really had to tune that out. Just because they can't see it happening doesn't mean it won't, and that is the fear of people. Last, any kind of lack of focus. This is really important for my career. Next year, I have to focus all my resources into mastering one area of my life, which is acting and singing. So in the rare event of me not being able to be an actor or musician, I would become a dance teacher. As I said before, to be a qualified dance teacher, you have to have completed your RAD Advanced 2 exam, which I have done already. I have the qualifications to teach anywhere in the world. Over my 2 years of high school, I feel I've become more mature in the sense of confidence and focus. I've had a lot of self-belief systems switch for the better, and I know 100% now what my goals are and that I'm ready to achieve them. I think my strengths right now are my drive, focus, and how much I love what I'm doing. And to support my future, I think I can develop more willingness to say yes in my career and quit worrying about not being perfect because I'm still learning. The skills I've developed throughout high school are going to be very beneficial to my career. Teamwork, the use of creativity, and the drive to get the final results of what I want will always be implemented into my life now. I would like to close this with something said by one of my favorite actors, Viola Davis. This is a small part of her 2017 Oscar speech that made me cry like a baby. People ask me all the time, what kind of stories do you want to tell, Viola? And I say, exhume those bodies. Exhume those stories, the stories of the people who dreamed big and never saw those dreams to fruition. People who fell in love and lost. I became an artist, and thank God I did, because we are the only profession that celebrates what it means to live a life. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. This presentation was the beginning of the end for these students. They have presentations today, exams tomorrow, a provincial on Friday, and then Grad on Sunday. So they're really working hard this week. I am very proud of each and every one of them. Ms. Trites, do you have a few words? Next row. I know you'll have more to say to that.
First of all, I just want to say how incredibly proud I am of these young ladies. I know their talent, and I think throughout the years, some of them I've known for 13 years, some of them I've known for a few months. But I know that they're talented, wonderful, all-rounded people. They're caring, they're thoughtful, they're kind. They carry themselves with confidence, whether or not they actually have confidence inside. You do a great job of expressing that you are confident young ladies. You're overachieving young ladies. The achievements that you've made are some achievements that people don't achieve in their entire lifetimes. And being only 16, 17, 18 years old, I hope you're incredibly proud of yourselves and always remember that. I was absolutely overwhelmed to see every actual accomplishment that you've done because, of course, being in my office, I don't get to interact with you on a daily basis, and I don't get to hear about all the incredible things you do. I just want to, again, mirror what Ms. Crown said and say that I'm so incredibly proud of you. And as teachers, you try not to get attached emotionally to your students, but I have to say that I failed miserably in doing that. And all of you will be in my thoughts and my heart forever. I want you to know that. I'm going to try not to cry because some of you I've known for so long, and I feel like you're my own children. So with that, I'll leave it till Grad before I break down. But I wanted to say congratulations to all of you, and please know that every person in this crowd today and many, many others are so incredibly proud of you, and just can't wait to see what the future holds for you.
I am going to ask my friend and my mentor, Raul, to say a few words. He's been working with Studio9 now for a couple years. And I know he's watched some of these students grow as well. So I would just like some thoughts from you.
Expecting this stuff.
We'll keep it short.
No rocket.
No rockets, sorry.
I am not amazed. I am not surprised of the brilliance that these young people bring. I don't think they overachieve. They're just following their hearts and their passion. I've had the opportunity to work with some more than others, but I sat there and I went back to my corporate days thinking, some people could even do that with such poise and confidence. So, you know, what little part that I may have played in some of your lives is just that, because your brilliance comes from your heart, and your achievements, it does not surprise me at all. I just think you will continue all to do amazing things, and thank God for social media, because now I get to watch. You know, I pop in your Facebook page. I may not take up, but I'll pop in just to see what's going on, because you get to come here and watch the combination of your high school career. But when you come into the school, into the classrooms, and you work with them, and you've been doing it for 2, 3 years, whatever it is, I've been coming here, you're not surprised when you see this. So for the parents of these amazing young women, you should pat yourselves on the back, because you've done a great job guiding these young ones. And to Studio 9, they are the results. They are why this school exists, and this is why we need more schools like this. Pure and simple. So I'm just honored to be a small part of it. So well done, congratulations. I know you all do amazing things. I'm going to be watching with eagle eyes. So, anyway.
I'm really good at putting people on the spot. I have asked Corbin to grab a plate of cookies and some iced tea from the cafeteria. So if you are a Studio 9 student that is not in my grade 10, 11, 12 class, I'm gonna dismiss you back to class. Parents and guests, we are welcome to move into my classroom. We have about 15 minutes till break, so we can